All right, Sophia and I think Lauren and Kunal. I can't remember who else right now has a TI-Nspire, but I did a little tinkering today to see if I could figure out how to do this. I don't have an emulator for an Nspire on my computer right now, but I'm going to just show you with my TI-Nspire. I had to find it and charge it, but I was able to figure this out. So I'm going to talk to you how to find or create a histogram using a frequency table of just data we're going to make up, and then how to do the one variable statistics to find, mean, median, standard deviation, and all of that. All right, so I think first thing we want to do is create a new document. So you can see us playing around, so we'll just start all over. So I'm going to start by adding a list and spreadsheet. And the first thing I want to do is name these. It's going to help a lot when we do this in a second. So I don't know, I'm just going to make up a data set, but let's say time. And I'm going to hit enter. And then here it's going to be kind of weird. It asks you for an equation. So we don't have an equation for our time. We just have a data set. So I don't know. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. So 5 minutes, whatever it is to do something. All right, and then I'm going to name the next column my frequency column. So freak with a Q. There, couldn't find it. All right, I'm going to hit enter. Again, it's going to ask for an equation. I don't know that. So I don't know. Maybe there's an easier way, but I'm just hitting enter to get rid of that. So I'm going to write these numbers down as I type them in, because I'm going to test this to make sure on my TI-83 that we're getting the same one variable statistic. So, I don't know, 12, 9, 15, 4, and 8. Let me just write that down. 15, 4, and 8. Okay. All right, so once I have my data entered into this table, I'm going to now enter a new document so that I can graph it. So let me see if I remember how to do that. Menu, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Document, yeah. So I hit doc, and then I'm going to say insert a new page. So I'm going to insert a new page, and let's go to data and statistics now. So we did lists and spreadsheets so that we could enter the data. Now we want to do some stuff with it. So we're going to choose choice 5. So this is the default way that every Nspire is going to represent data. It's a scatter plot. So this is just always what's going to happen. So we want to change it to a histogram, but before we do that, I'm going to go and label my axes. So obviously on my x-axis down here, I want it to be time. Okay? And so you can see it's rearranging it, but it doesn't have any y-axis values, so it's just showing that I obviously have points at we entered those 5 data points. So now I'm going to come over here. Let me see if it lets me do this. I might have to click something else first. Yeah. So hold on. Okay. So this is now our frequency, but you can see it's not a histogram. So if I tried to go to menu, I could choose a different plot type so we can see what's available. But I just made a mistake, which is why this is all grayed out. So if this happens, if you do these out of order, it's going to make a mistake. So what I'm going to do is remove that y variable, because that's what made the mistake. I know it's kind of hard to see with this camera, but I'm going to remove the y variable. So you can see it's just going to go back to this. So now I'm going to change the plot type to a histogram. So see, here's where you can do a box plot or a histogram. Oh, dang it. Of course. So let's go do it again. Plot type, histogram. And what it's going to do, because right now it only knows that I have the times in, and so because they only occurred on that first list once, right? Like I entered 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, it's only taking those values. So it's saying frequency because I haven't told it to look at the other list yet. And this one's kind of weird. So if I went again and hit enter, I can say frequency, but it does the same thing that I was just showing you. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to plot property, and I'm going to remove that y variable. And this is where I had the hardest time figuring out what in the heck, how do I make it do what I want it to do to create a histogram? So here's how you do that. You want to right-click over there. And if you don't know how to right-click on an Nspire, it's very strange, but it's this little button above menu, so you have to go Control Menu. And now it says what we want it to say. We want to add a Y summary list. And now I want to choose frequency. And like magic, we have our histogram that shows this data. So the order of steps here is so dumb, and it doesn't really make sense to me why. That's the order that we go in, but alas, here we are. So the Nspire will try its best to interpret what you are meaning in terms of your class widths down here, the intervals that we're counting by. But if you didn't like those or you wanted them to be something different, because sometimes we can outsmart our calculator. It doesn't always know how to anticipate our needs. So we want to do, we can change the way that this is split down here by hitting the menu button. We're going to go to plot properties again. Histogram properties. So I'm going to go to histogram properties, and it's bin settings. So we call those classes, those little intervals along the x-axis, bins. So we always pick equal bin width. We don't want to use variable bin width ever. Equal bin width, we hit enter. So you can see that data set counted by ones, but obviously we have different setups here. And then I just had it start at 0.5, if you can see behind this box. So 0.5 to 1.5, just so it aligns perfectly on top of the 1. So if we had decimal values in our data set, we would want to do something different. But it just, it kind of depends. So go ahead and enter. So here's how you make a histogram. Now, if I wanted to do one variable statistics, so I'm going to add another, I'm going to insert another page, and I'm going to add data and statistics again. I might have just lied to you. Is this what I wanted to do? Actions? I can't remember how to do this right now. Why is the Nspire so hard? Why can't it just know what I want? We're going to insert a page. And we're going to insert, calculator, duh. I'm inserting calculator. And now, all right, so I inserted a calculate page for this data set. So then I hit menu on the calculate page, and this is where we want to go to statistics, right? So let's open the statistics menu. And there's a few other things. It depends, for our class, most of the stuff that we're going to be working with is in stat calculations. So I hit number 1, and here's where all of those, the normal menu items that you see on the 83s and 84s in class. So this is a one variable statistics, right? Because it's a frequency table. So one variable statistics. I only have one list of data. So it's kind of weird. This is a little counterintuitive because we know we have a list and then a frequency list, but this is saying how many lists of data points did you put in. So we just have one list. So now I want to tell it what the list is. So I want the time list. That's the data that I'm studying. And then I'm going to say the frequency list. The frequency list, I named mine frequency list. So that's why I really encourage you guys to label them. It just helps a whole lot. Okay? We don't need category lists. We don't need those other two category drop-down menus. You can just hit enter, as you saw me do. I meant to say that before I did it. But all right, so now we've got a couple things. So I'm going to write this stuff down. So you can see X bar. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know. Maybe. All right. So I'm going to write them down. So I'm going to do this on my other calculator. So X bar, the average is 2.72917. All right, something else we would use. I'm going to actually write down both of these standard deviations because I want to see. So 1.37979, and then sigma is 1.36534. And another one that could be, nope, this one, that's right, because I made that nice, pretty data set. I'm just going to write what my n value is so I make sure I don't screw this up. All right, so I'm now going to see if we get the same answers on my TI-84. So we need to edit, get rid of whatever's in here, Quinol is what I have. All right, and so we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 12, 9, 15, 4, and 8. All right, and then I'm going to calculate one variable statistics. So I put my data in list 1 and my frequency in list 2. Okay, I guess we could have just compared them this way. So 2.72917, so that one's good. 1.37979, that's good. 1.36534, that one's good. And it looks like everything else is good. 48. Yeah. So if you are having a problem where whatever we're getting in class doesn't match up with what yours is, reach out to me when that happens, because for me right now, and I know this is a pretty small data set, but they are matching up. So I'm not sure if that error is occurring, what exactly it is. Maybe you were pulling your data in a different way. So now we have a way to find histograms. Ew, my nails are disgusting. Histograms and one variable statistics here. And then you also saw that the two variable statistics was on that list as well. So hopefully this helped. I couldn't find a video that did exactly what I wanted it to do, so hopefully this one did it for you guys. All right, bye!